Welcome to T Boys TV. We are back again with another Hat Show. Milestone one, this one, episode 230. Obviously, in this one, we will be discussing the defeat in the championship. Yet again, this time it has put us rock bottom. Who would have said that at the start of the season? Absolutely crazy. And then we'll be getting into Sheffield United game, which, like I said in the reaction the other day, they don't get any easier really. Like always, joined with Dad. How are we, Dad? Yeah,
All
despite
good,
Luton.
mate. Yeah, all good. Hope everyone's cool. It is
Yeah.
what it is.
Oh God, it is really bad. That's what it is. But yeah, talking on the lineup now. Again, you can't put too much pressure on Bloomfield. He's come in a bit later than we'd ideally want. Like I said in the reaction, I felt a lot of us had felt the board had left it too long with Rob Edwards, which has made it a big ask for Bloomfield to come in and try and turn it around. But his lineup in this game was wrong. We have to be honest. Especially for me playing Walters again. I think you see in the last game, previous games, that he's not quite strong enough on the ball sometimes. He's got a lot to develop, so I'm not going to be too critical of him. But I just think Hashioka, man, it was like that with Rob Edwards. Since that Watford game when he come on, he done so well. I was at Oxford a couple of weeks ago, and yes, on the first goal we could have done better, but the second one, there was a moment I think before they scored where he was 1-on-1 defensively, and if that was when he first joined, you would have been worried. But he won the ball. He has got a lot stronger on the ball. All right, he doesn't bring as much of a good dimension as Walters going forward, you would say, but still, I feel the type of game it was, it would have been ideal to go with him in that game. There was a few question marks, let's be honest, over Johnson left back, just because there was speculation that he was going to get loaned out. He turned out to do really well in the game. I thought he was one of the better players. Obviously, brought a set piece threat as well. It's interesting to see him on the set pieces, but they were good set pieces, which obviously we'll get into. Lamine Fanny shouldn't have started. I was saying the Canberra should have started this game for the experience. Like I said, going into it, I remember going to the game a few years ago when we drew 1-1. He should have started. Well, he did start that game. He should have started this game experience away at high flying Sunderland, who, like I said, they're in their own mini league with 3 other teams. We needed the points more. I still stand by that to this day. Yes, they need points to put pressure on Burnley and potentially Sheffield United. I think Leeds will go on to win the league now, but we need the points ASAP. Do you know what I mean? Whereas they've got a gap with the teams behind them. So frustrating, man. You need to go for it. Morris up front. I mean, I called for it myself. I wanted to see it, but it's not working now. Even when we had Rob Edwards, there was games where we was calling for 2 up front, and I think we have to change it now. Yes, that means probably a less body in midfield if you go 4 at the back, but we have to change it up now. It's getting to that stage, and I keep saying the same thing every week. We need to start picking up points, but we really do now. Especially with the game on Wednesday, that's a huge game. Us versus Plymouth, they're picking up a little bit now, picking up points. We're rock bottom now, so we need to start getting it. And we're fortunate, we're fortunate it's not even worse, and we have got Kaminsky at times. The amount of games I was watching, a lot of the vlogs I've done this season on away games yesterday. Why not? And the amount of times Kaminsky saved it from being even worse in loads of these games. Coventry away, I couldn't believe it. And we were 2-0 up in that game. Just so frustrating. He's getting frustrated. And yeah, it's just getting to that stage now where it's just a repetitive cycle. But yeah, they were the main things for me. In this game, I was very surprised. The likes of Walter maybe didn't feature in this game. I think Clark's getting a bit predictable now, and he's trying a bit too hard at times. So it was a frustrating one. And then as for the bench, you have the likes of Elijah Bowler again. I wanted to see him start. I mean, Ali was good, to be fair to him. Probably our best player, in my opinion. Yes, he had that moment. He was offside, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. But he was actually trying. And that's the thing about the new signings. They're not... It seems like some of the other players are trying too hard. at times, like they take that extra touch, like Clark and stuff. Whereas these new signings, they've got a point to prove to us and try and help us get out of this zone that we're in right now. But I thought he was good. Bowler, like I say, should have started. Brown, Hashioka, Krul, Naismith, Nakamba, Nordas obviously was on the bench. He did get a little bit of a run out. And then Liam Walsh. So, you look at that. I mean, some of them players on the bench, you probably wanted to see them start. I mean, I did, Naismith and things like that. So, yeah, just a few little bits in the lineup that didn't maybe didn't work out as shown, wasn't it? Like,
Yeah, I mean, Morris, I chose Elijah over him because I just thought he'd get bullied, and he basically did, or no service. He had that one good header, which nearly led to the goal, but other than that, nothing. Again, Hashioka, I do like Walters. I think he has got a lot of potential, but his position in that sometimes is a bit not good enough. The centre backs played all right, but the Lamine didn't. Even though I had him, Ali. Obviously, the big thing was there's no Doughty, so yeah, that's why we shuffled things. I was a bit surprised to see Nelson starting over Bowler, but it's he's got a lot to sort of choose from, isn't he now? With all them new signings and where he's going to fit him in, and it's still good that he's sort of going with the youth a little bit, but I think you need a bit more experience in there. So hopefully we make them changes for tomorrow's game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There was a few things. Going into the game, I thought we started pretty poor again. Like we have in a lot of games this season. Obviously they did get the goal in the 13th minute. It's a great finish. Again, Kaminsky couldn't have done anything about it, but defensively poor. I think it was Lamine who got nutmegged, but it was way too easy. And then the finish, he's got all the time in the world, and it's frustrating seeing that because we don't do that enough. Shoot outside the box. Obviously I know we did against Sheffield Wednesday, but other than that, we don't really do that. I mean, we've done it a few times last season. Obviously, it worked out. In certain games, like Clark did it against. Obviously, we didn't win, but still, we done it against Man City. We're not seeing the players really take on them shots really, like Sunderland did, and they punished us for it. They got that early goal. And, we had a few moments after that. Obviously, like I say, the alley chance. Morris, that was a good header. And that is something he will still bring, as much as one up front's not working with him. He will bring that element of a good, threats from set pieces. But, it needs someone alongside him now. It's just a repetitive cycle week upon week. But that was a very unlucky header, to be fair. It was a good save from Patterson. Yes, Ali probably should have, at least tucked away the rebound. But like I say, guys, it wouldn't have mattered, in my opinion. Because just the way the game was, to be honest, we have them moments where, especially when we play away, we're just going to sit back at a point and just let pressure on us. And that's what happened with this game. And like I say, the first half, other than that, that was really the chance we had. I think Clark maybe had another shot, but that was dreadful. He took, he rushed it when he should have took a touch, really. So bit of a frustrating half once again. I mean, maybe happier that it's only one, but at the time, but yeah, it still wasn't great, was it?
Yeah, Sunderland are a good team. They have a lot of confidence. They've got some decent outlets, good players, very good defence. So it was kind of on the cards. I see a lot of people might, that's worst rubbish. But we're in this spot now. Like, we've been in it for ages, and decisions were made too late. Certain signings, it's been a shambles really to a certain degree, even from pre-season, and with the injuries, this, that, and the other. But there was little patches. Initially, we started off on the front foot, didn't really amount to nothing. And then guarding their goal, he's a real quality player. He's played in the Champions League. He's if they get promoted, they've got to pay him 20 million. He's going to end up playing high level, definitely. But yeah, with the time, I think it was Walters and maybe Lamine who should have dealt with him or closed him down a little bit more. He was running Walters ragged, this player, but he is real quality. But it just, he run a lot of players ragged, to be fair. But it's just them little patches. Like certain players are performing, but it's not the whole team. Do you know what I mean? And that's all it is, really. I don't think it was a terrible thing. I expected it anyway. I said a 2-1. So 1-0. If we're getting absolutely smashed to pieces and look really bad, it's just team togetherness and that. We have got the players, because if you had the players and they was all playing well, playing as best as they can, and you're still getting slapped hard, then you definitely you're not good enough. But that's what the frustrating thing, isn't it? 2 leagues ago, did anyone really expect anything from this game? Performance-wise, maybe, but come on, they haven't lost. We haven't beaten for a long time. Swings and roundabouts, yin and yang. Do you know what I mean? Highs and lows and all that. And that's what's happening at the moment. And you just got to ride it out, haven't you? I still think we've got a good chance of staying up. Yes, we've bottom 2 points from safety. It's in our hands. I still think we've got a good chance, but they're going to have to really step up now. Maybe being bottom will give some people a kick up the arse. So yeah, like half time, half expected, and then obviously in the second half we come out. We look good initially in the second half. We actually started to play some football more than defend. We was actually going at them and putting them under a lot of pressure. So it's there. You can do it if you've got the players. But as soon as they scored their second, it's sort of a mistake from Lamine again, who come off not long after that. And then, they got the quality player, just turn shot. That's it. It's just, you can't really. It was a bit lucky, but they still done it. Do you know what I mean? And he has got ability, but he's just running around like a bit of a headless chicken at the moment. Let's be honest. So yeah, for now, I think you got to have someone a bit stronger there who's like Nakamba, or even do you know what? I wouldn't mind seeing Naismith in that position. I think he'd be all right in that position as well. But we'll see. And then they were just playing with us at the end, toying, and the fans were wanted more and this, that, and the other. And yeah, just that's how it was really. Just didn't really create. But certain players. Ali was good. He can go forward. He can dribble past people. I think it's a good. We have got these stronger players on the bench and probably more game changers. We definitely missed Doughty 100%. We're actually missing Chong as well. And the strikers are just, particularly Elijah. I mean, come on, just done fuck all basically. Do you know what I mean? So I still think we'll go with the one up front because I think if we lose a midfielder, the only way we can gain is to go free at the back again. But I don't think we will. So I think it is going to be the one up front. But you've just got to drive them. You can change it. Maybe you'll change something to add the two up front. But I'm just thinking it'll just be one. But for me, I'm well, you'll see my lineup. But for me overall, half expected. They're on a. That's what you know what I mean. When we were top in them positions, we wouldn't be losing to someone who's second from bottom. Do you know what I mean? At home, we just wouldn't. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, the thing for me is just, like, even though I said a draw, just because we need the points, and I knew we wouldn't beat them. No way. It was just, for me, like I say, there was good patches. Like you say, early second half we were decent. Individual performances, there was good. But like you say, it's just collectively as a team. And then I thought towards the end of the game, like, it was so bad. It was just the same sort of away performance, where it's just petering out. It's boring, really. You know what's going to happen. And them getting that second goal, giving them the momentum to just go on and chill, really, like they did. That's the frustrating thing, just seeing it again and again. And it's exactly like Jackie says here. Because what I did expect was a fight. Love our team and never give up on them. It's just been frustrating.
The problem is, I'll just touch on that. Like, we keep saying that, but it's just not happening. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not expecting it. So when I do see it, we'll be pleasantly surprised. We need to be seeing that tomorrow. Sorry, I can't get over this flash scores have changed Morris's picture. He looks like 10 years.
Oh yeah, they've changed a few. I noticed they changed Kaminsky's.
Yeah, they look a bit more grumpy. I don't know, but I don't blame them. But yeah, like they haven't been fighting. There's been 2 games where I've seen them really fight. Watford and Sunderland at home. Other than that,
That's it. Yeah.
Fight at all. And it's down to leaving it too late. New signings, they take time to gel anyway, especially the ones if you sign them halfway through the season. But some of them have been, showing their skill. I thought Bowler, when he come on, he was positive. He was always looking for that forward pass. Elijah just weren't on the level, but I'll be starting him because you can see that he's a very good footballer. When you said about what do you think, I said he's a bowler. I like him. I think he's excellent. He missed out. So there's that, and the home games particularly is where we have to show fight. We have to show fight. If you don't start showing it, then the crowd will be they're just going to get even more annoyed. It's just one of them things, man. It's just a combination of a lot of things, but and the main problem is what frustrates a lot of people is that's what we always did, particularly under Nathan Jones. Do you know what I mean? We always would be fighting, and in the Premier League we were fighting, even though we had like loads of injuries, that we were fighting. And this season we just haven't. It's just gone. And that was before Bloomfield. People saying, "Oh, it's Rob Edwards Mark II." You're not even giving him the geezer a chance. Look at the whole situation. The players that he's already signed. But they're League One player. Who do you think we're going to be signing when we're in the relegation zone? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like
have you even seen it? Just they're League One. That's all I know about them. Right.
Yeah, it's like Mike said, and I there's a clip of it I put on TikTok, and it was when he was saying, I can't remember who he played. It's one of the home games. I think it's Norwich. It's a game we lost at home, and he was saying, like he's worried about who we can attract. Do you know what I mean? And that was when Rob Edwards was still here. So you've got to look at that, and yeah, they left it a bit too long with Rob Edwards. Like I've said, we'll go into this because it's sort of similar to this comment. They left it on for too long, like I said, and that's the frustrating thing. But they've got to that stage now where they know they've messed up. They know it, so they're getting players, if we do go down, that are more capable of doing it in that league. Players like Asgard. We haven't seen too much of him, but Bowler, I do want to see him continue at the club, to be honest. And possibly Naismith for that experience. I know he's only a loan, but we've got time for a leader at the back. But yeah, go on.
If we get relegated, Bowler will be lucky to keep him. Well, you never know. But it's that, and it's the strikers that we needed to sign a striker at the beginning of the season. We didn't do it.
I remember I was calling for that massively. Yeah,
that's a massive mistake. So players, someone like Berry, he would have. I reckon he would have done bits for us still this season. Things like that. But it is what it is. Like, we'll just have to fight and see what happens. You know what I mean? If they're gonna, I think that some of there is enough players there that will show fight. But there's some that you can tell will just be like just riding it out now, and then just packing off, maybe leaving at the end of the season or whatever. That's the problem. But you've got to find that balance, and that's what he's trying to do. And generally, I think as it is a 3-game week, there will be changes, and he won't continue. Whereas Rob Edwards would continue, and particularly play players out of position. He's not doing that. Really, and Nelson can play anywhere across, there, but I would have put Bowler on. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens, innit? That's all we can do, man.
Yeah. I mean, there was a debate about Nelson the other day, and it was where do you think his best position? I think if you put him, say for example, we play a 4-1-4-1. I think if you put him one of the two as that 4 ahead, I think he'll do all right, because I don't know if he's a good player out wide. I think because of the way he is, he gets on the ball, he dictates, he looks for the forward pass, he's quite, quick with the ball at his feet. I'm not sure about him out wide, bombing forward and that. I don't think that's the type of player he is, and we've got other players to do that, haven't we? Doughty, I think, is much better at it. Obviously, Nelson's got a lot to learn, but still, on the right, you've got loads of options. That's probably where we're most stacked. You've got Jones, you've got Bowler, you've got other players, but I can't think from the top of my head that you can put there as well. So, that is the thing there when it comes to that. But yeah, I do agree with that, Rich. Like I say, I was going off on that the other day because it's just frustrating. And I'll be honest, guys, again, we don't want it to happen, but I'm sort of, going back to what we said earlier with performances that where you're not really expecting anything, performance-wise from us. I've got to that stage where I'm sort of expecting a high possibility at League One. And again, we have got favourable games at home, but with these performance levels, I can't back us against anyone, to be honest, until the performance levels change, which I have no basis that they can change, because like we said earlier, there's only been 2 good games the whole year for 90 minutes. That's not good enough, and that's the frustrating thing. So, yeah, we shall see. We'll get into it's the same you want to say then?
No, just get the player rating.
Yeah, I was going to say. I was going to get into the player ratings. But yeah, moving on to the player ratings. So Kaminsky in goal. The goal, we couldn't have done nothing. Second goal was a mistake from Lamine. Couple of saves at points to prevent it from being even more. It's just the same thing. I do feel sorry for him. Obviously, he has their moments where his distribution, he gets it out for a goal kick, but shot stopping, there's no, there's no denying how good he is at that. So yeah, Kaminsky, 6.5.
Yeah, 6.5. Same.
Rio Waters, like I say, I mean, he weren't as bad. I just don't think he should have started this game personally. I'll just go over a standard 6.
I'll give him a 6.5. He did improve in the second half. He was making the effort, and trying to get forward, particularly in the second half. Him and Lamine probably were at fault for the first goal, but it weren't terrible. Going forward, and there's certain other players who just done nothing at all. So I'll give him 6.5.
Yeah, fair enough. Moving on to Johnson. Like I said, I thought Johnson was one of our better players in this game. I was surprised when he first came across that set piece with Clark, but obviously it was a great delivery. Unlucky from Morris. The only good thing he really done in the game, Morris. But there was a corner he took as well, which was another good delivery shortly after that. He could be another player to bring that element. It'd be interesting with Doughty back to see, if they're taking it in turns instead and having Clark there as well. It's going to be interesting. But yeah, Johnson, he weren't bad. He weren't bad, to be fair to him. There was a good sliding tackle he did actually in the first half as well. When Sunderland were going forward, that was a good tackle. So for me, one of the better players. I'll give him a 7.
I'll give him 6.5. I think he's looking more confident. I expect to see him sort of maintain that position for me. So I think defensively he's better than Bell. So yeah, 6.5.
Yeah, I'd agree. And then moving on to the centre backs again, I thought the centre backs were decent. McGuinness, we'll start off with McGuinness. There was a moment where he went for a sliding block, he missed it, but then he redeemed himself and blocked it. That was good. That was good to see from him. Other than that, I don't think he's terrible. Like I say, I think he will be a future captain for us. Whether we go down or not, he's just joined us, and he says obviously going to stay. But yeah, I thought he was okay. So I'll go with another 6.5.
I'll give him 6.5. He's my man of the match. Do you know what I mean? He's like really bedding in that role, and like he's doing the last ditch tackles and stuff like that. And he's working quite well with Anderson as well. But I think Anderson I'd rest him for the next game because he's not long being back from injury, and do you know what I mean? I don't think he's as fit as the other players, but he done right as well. But yeah, McGuinness my man of the match, 6.5.
Fair enough. And then we'll move on to Anderson. I actually thought Anderson was, pretty good in the first half. I think headering stuff away was really good. And like I say, that partnership does seem to be the partnership at the moment. I mean, it'll be interesting. Obviously, Naismith did come on in centre back, so it's probably going to be between them three in games where they're going to chop and change. Well, mainly Anderson and Naismith. But yeah, I thought Anderson was all right in the game, to be fair. I thought he was decent. So again, we got another 6.5.
Yeah, I agree, 6.5.
Simple as that. And then moving on to Lamine, again, he shouldn't have started this game for me. The second goal is just poor control, isn't it, really? And then, he's just a bit all over the place, really. Let's be honest. And guys, like I said in my match reaction, he's played 3 games in England. I don't know why he's starting these games, to be honest. He come back from injury and then went straight in the team. Like I don't like that, to be honest. It's not like it's Doughty. No disrespect to him, but it's not like he's Doughty. It's not like he's that much, of an influence to our team at this moment in time. So frustrated about that. Not a great game from him. 5.5.
Yeah, 5.5. Like he's definitely got quality. He's reminding me a bit of Kabore a little bit at the moment. So yeah, 5.5.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh dear. Moving on to Ali. One of the better players for me. I'm not going to give him man of the match, but if I was, I'd give it to him. Like I say, I thought his work rate was good. He won a few free kicks as well. I'm not going to go on about that chance. But yeah, there was moments where he was showing good glimpses, and I was a little bit surprised he started in a way, just because again we're away. He's played not even half a game for us. I was a little bit surprised, but he done all right. So I go 6.5.
Yeah, I'll give him 6.5. I thought he showed good tenacity on the ball. You know what I mean? He's not afraid to go forward. He's already showing that he can be a valuable player. And he just needs to get used to the championship a little bit more. But he's definitely a good player to have. I'll give him 6.5.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And then moving on to Nelson on the other side. I think I'm just going to go for average 6.
Yeah, I'll just give him 6. Didn't really, compared to what he's capable of and that. But again, he's still learning. Again, Doughty would have been starting over him, let's be honest. But yeah, 6.
Yeah, and then moving on to Clark. Obviously, did have that shot, which weren't
6.
great. I think at one point he gave it away. I'm going to go a little bit lower for Clark. I'm going to go 5.5. Disappointing, man.
Yeah, I'll give him a 6.
Fair enough. Asgard, average 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was slightly better in the Sheffield Wednesday game. And then Morris up front. I mean, that header was unlucky, to be fair, but other than that, didn't bring nothing. 6.
5.5.
Fair enough. And then the bench, Bowler. He showed good glimpses, like we said. So I'll go 6.
Yeah, I'll give him a 6.
Brown didn't do nothing.
5.
I'll go 5.5. Elijah 5.5. And then Naismith
6.
6. Yeah, 6 is there. Nordas, well, can't really give him much. 6.
Yeah.
So,
But
yeah.
Naismith, when he come on, like he did look sure he was confident. He'd done a Cruyff turn, and you know, with the Sunderland commentators, oh, he's in, you know, but it was a foul on him. But it's showing that confidence, and this is why I wanted to see him start, because he's got that experience and he can help out Johnson a little bit. Because I think Johnson does need a little bit of help, and I think Naismith will know him anyway, as well, obviously. So I think that I want to see him start. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. When it comes to that, but yeah, again, disappointing away day. Obviously, did expect a defeat. Well, not a win, but still, just a performance is the frustrating thing. And again, you know, people saying about points and stuff. You know, well, we need to at least show a little bit to get something out of games. But yeah, it is frustrating. But yeah, moving on to the game tomorrow. Sheffield United, obviously, we take them on at home. Now, obviously, last time we played them at home was a 3-1 defeat in the Premier League. A rare time Luton were the favourites in the Premier League last year, and every time we are the favourites, we lose. And Sheffield United, they were one of the worst teams in the Premier League. You know, conceded over 100 goals. You know, and we were expected to be the whipping boys in the Premier League. We wasn't. And yeah, it's just a frustrating day, really, wasn't it? It just didn't turn up, a bit like this season. And a lot of people, that was the game which determined relegation. You know, they thought that was the game. For me, I still stand by it. It's Bournemouth away. You know, you cannot be 3-0 up and just lose in the manner we did. But yeah, we beat them away in a game at their ground, 3-2. You know, that was a great win on Boxing Day in the Premier League. But other than that, you know, you look at away games. We've had good away games against them, like say the 3-2. We beat them 1-0 the season we went up. Yeah, that was a very good win. Elijah and Morris linked up for that goal. You know, that was good play. You know, we have had a few decent results there. Obviously, this year, flipping hell, one of the worst away days I've done. You know, the fans were very fuming after that game. Rob Edwards, you know, there was Edwards sorted out chance. So bad. We actually played 4 at the back, but we put Real Waters as left back and Jordan Clark up front. I couldn't believe it. And then Rob Edwards come out after and said, well, I've done it and it didn't work. What the flipping hell? Putting players in wrong positions. And yeah, the atmosphere is very toxic, that game. And it was just before the derby. Well, there was an international break and then it was the derby. So, you know, I wasn't confident. That was my first time being Rob Edwards out, that game. But this game, Sheffield United still doing very well. Since then, obviously, if they do win this game, they can go top. Obviously, Leeds will have a game in hand against, well, they're playing on Monday against Sunderland, but they can go top Sheffield United with a win. As for us, well, we know we're rock bottom now. A win, depending on other results, we could actually go out of the relegation zone. But Derby have just got used to this in. They're playing tonight, actually, Derby. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there with that. But yeah, obviously Hull play as well, Plymouth. So yeah, bit of insight going into it. Luton Town have lost each of their last 2 football games against Sheffield, Football League games against Sheffield United. They've never lost 3 in a row against them, which is quite interesting. Sheffield United are unbeaten on their 4 previous Football League trips to Luton this century, winning 1, drawing 3, winning 3-1 out in the Premier League, like I mentioned. Luton Town are winless in the last 3 home league games, drawing 1, losing 2, failing to score in each of those games. I remember the times we said it's difficult not to back us to score, but still not win. They've never failed to score in 4 straight home games in the Football League, ever. No side has won more away games in the Championship this season than Sheffield United, 9, including 5 wins in the last 6 games, losing 1. Indeed, victory here would be the fastest they've ever recorded 10 away wins in a Football League campaign in the 17th game for that. And then Luton's Colton Morris has scored 3 goals in his last 4 league appearances against Sheffield United, with him only netting more Football League goals against Coventry, which is 4. So a lot of ones don't favour us there. I mean, Morris has a good goal scoring record, but I'll tell you something now, if he's up front by himself, that is not going to make a difference. But a bit more on Sheffield United. They're coming to Kenilworth Road now, and a win will put them top of the league, like I said. Saturday's visitors have won 6 of their last 7 games, scored 12 goals in the 7 games. Their recent shock, which was a Friday night, 3-0 defeat at home to Hull, failed to dampen their spirit. They have responded with 6 goals and clean sheet across their 3 wins since. The man to watch for the visitors is Raksaki, who obviously scored a brace last time we played them. The official for this game will be Lewis Smith. The first ever time he's actually officiated Luton. Not expecting too much, though. He's been in League 2 to the Premier League. He's covered fixtures across all the divisions, 13 of his 31 matches being in the Championship. So, not expecting much. Expecting still by a referee, to be honest. But as for team news for us, it's looking better, I'll be honest. That's right. But Doughty's back. That's good. That's massive for us. One of our best players. Him and Kaminsky are put up there as our best players right now. Obviously, he's back. Jones is back, so that's great. Who else? Baptiste is actually back. Flipping hell. If he don't get injured to the end of the season, flipping hell. That'd be rare. But he is good on his day. But me as a fan, like a lot of us, I'm just getting sick of him getting injured. Do you know what I mean? We need him. Do you know what I mean? Because he showed good glimpses, especially his crossing ability. But hopefully he can stay fit. Touch wood. He's very injury prone. Brentford fans did warn me. But yeah, so he's back. And someone else is back from the top of my head. I can't remember who it is. Chong is still out. I mentioned Jones. There's another one. There's another one. That's about Bell. That's it. Wouldn't start Bell though. I'll be honest. Because like I say, against Oxford, he was so bad. So I couldn't believe it. And again, we've had a lot of we like Bell, but his performances this year have been terrible. And when and we've been saying, that was his worst performance. Game after, that was his worst before. Do you know what I mean? It's just a repetitive cycle. So for me, he shouldn't be starting. And yeah, I don't want to. I'll be honest. I don't want to see a lot of these players start that have just come back. The only one I've nailed on to start, and I'll get onto lineups, is Doughty, because he's one of our best players, like I say. But yeah, that's my opinion. Let me know what you lot think. But yeah, after saying all that, Dad, how are you feeling?
Well, it's frustrating because we've got a depth now, a little bit of depth, but the performances just ain't there. Another tough fixture. They can go top. Last season they beat us when we probably should have beaten them. The only thing I'm thinking is, we normally draw against them at home. It's not the end of the world if they don't. There'll be a little bit of pressure on them as well. Massive pressure on us, but a little bit of still pressure on them. So we're just going to have to be at it. And I think, this is what we're just waiting for, isn't it? So it's difficult to say. But, I want us to get a result, obviously. And I think that we might sneak a result, to be fair. But it's the same old thing, isn't it? You just don't know what to expect now. It just with the patterns and that. Last season we could say, yeah, I reckon we'll put in this, that, and the other. And generally we did, and even surprised, a few times as well. But you just don't know what you're gonna. You know what you're gonna get potentially, and we got to sort it out at some point, and hopefully. Beginning tomorrow. I mean, Naismith has come out and said, need to knuckle down, fight, and that. Well, he needs to be starting for me to enable that, encourage the lads. We've only got him in loan to the end of the season. Don't be just
exactly utilise him as much as possible.
Long comeback from injury, but he's obviously got the the ability and the nous, etc. So, Doughty's back. That's a big plus. So. I'm feeling not confident, but I know we've got enough there to get a result. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I mean, you can try and put a spin on it, right? And this is just me being, I guess, optimistic at this point. So when we played them in the Premier League, like I mentioned, we were the favourites. You know, we not every time we're the favourites, we lose. They're the favourites. Be the favourites quite heavily.
Mm.
Can maybe history repeat itself, but in the reverse way potentially? I can't see it personally, but I'm just trying to put a spin on it. You know, trying to put a positive spin on it, I guess. But yeah, going into lineups. Shout out to Paul in the chat as well. Just see it. Just put good evening, Paul. Hope you're well. But yeah, going into the lineups for this game. So, like I hinted at earlier, I do think we need to put two up front. And again, I know it isolates, a less body in midfield. But I think this formation could really work. 4-1, 3-2 it is. So, you've still got that one. Obviously, with Nakamba, which I've gone with. So Kaminsky in goal goes without saying. I have gone Naismith left back, and again, I know when he's been coming on, he's been going in centre back. I was going to go Johnson because his set pieces were good, but I don't want to put so much pressure on him. And Naismith, he is a leader. I've said everything I've said about him before. Do you know what I mean? So Naismith for me, Hashioka on the right. We need to change that up. In my opinion, Anderson and McGuinness stuck with them. McGuinness is definitely going to play. It's just whether he might go Naismith and centre back instead. Johnson on the left. Nakamba, like I say. And then my three, I've gone three, obviously, as you can see. Doughty on the left side. Bowler on the right. I'm going to start Bowler. Thought, he showed a good glimpse, like I said, the other day. Asgard through the middle as that sort of Cam, I guess, in that sort of role. And then up front, I've got Nordast and Morris. If you put one up front, I just worry again that it's going to be the same cycle. Unless you maybe go with Nordast. But I just don't think we'll start him up front by himself. But you never know. You never know. I'd like to see it personally, but I just think they'll just say, "Oh, he's not fully fit yet." Or why is he on the bench then continuously? Do you know what I mean? I know it's been one game, but they're going to keep putting him on the bench. That's my lineup, and I'd like to see a change in formation. Because like I said, well, it's just the two up front for me. Because like I said, and like I've said throughout the season, when we have played one up front, and we've said it as well, Dad, it's not worked. And it's not going to work with Morris. Elijah doesn't even look interested. And they're saying, like, Nordast is obviously match fit and that, but not fit enough to start the other day. So, I don't know. Quick turnaround, are you going to throw him in? I don't think so. And I don't know who else there is. Brown's been crap. You're going to put Ali on the right if you're going to play him there. So, yeah, that's what I reckon. As for your lineup, Dad, there you go.
Well, obviously, I've gone against what you've just been saying, but I'm frustrated with Morris. I don't think it works up front on his own. I think we still will. I don't want to lose that extra man in midfield. So obviously, I've got Kaminsky. I'm bringing Hashioka in. I think Walters would have a rest. I think Hashioka's done well there. We know it's not his ideal position, but he's been doing well there recently. McGuinness, obviously going without saying. I'm keeping Johnson as well. I think he's been doing all right, and I think he's better than the other options we potentially could have there. And I'm going to give Anderson a rest and bring in Naismith as my captain because I also dropped Clark. I'm putting the Nakamba in the CDM, whatever you want to call it, in front of the defence. I think he deserves that. He's got a lot more, nous and experience and things like that. Doughty throwing him straight back in, obviously. Asgard, you could see him maybe because he hasn't done a lot so far, but I think it's just a matter of time. So I'm starting him. Bowler over Jones for me. Jones is obviously fit enough, etc. But I think Bowler showed some little glimpses and positive forward play. And then obviously I think I'll put Walsh in there as well. I've dropped Clark. I can't see Baptiste coming straight in. Clark needs a bit of a rest as well, I thought. And Walsh has got that. He's got a good pass on him, etc. So a bit more attacking at home with them two in midfield there, and then obviously Nordas up front. He should still be fresh. What is this pre-season, this, that, and the other? But we need to start winning games, getting points. So you got to change it up a little bit. I don't think the others. I wouldn't mind seeing two up front, but I still think we should be starting at Nordas. But we'll see. And obviously, his under 21 colleague is on the pitch with him, and they've played together in that position kind of before for Norway, I believe. So so that's what I'm going to go with. Captain Naismith. Who would have thought we'd be saying that fucking a few months ago? But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as for me, if we do go with that formation, which is probably more likely, I'd say I'd go Kaminsky, Hashioka on the right, like you have. I'll go McGuinness and Anderson. I'd stick with them. Put Naismith on the left back. Nakamba as well. Bowler, Doughty, Asgard and Walsh. I'll go with that as well. And Nordas. Because I feel Walsh does deserve more of a chance. I guess, whether they make cards, whether. Let's move on from that now. He's still part of our team for the end of the season. And in range of passing, me personally, I don't think there's anyone else in the team that does it like how he does. You've seen them glimpses, and we're missing that. We are missing that. So for me, I wouldn't, be disheartened if he started. I want to see him start, to be honest.
He enables you to switch the ball and not look one-dimensional. Yeah. You know what I mean? And
yeah, exactly.
Baptiste can do that as well, but he's literally just come back from injury. So for me, it's got to be Walsh, man.
Yeah, it's like Jackie says here. Should definitely put Walsh in. So, it's one of them really when it comes to that. But yeah, it's that time. Actually, before I say that, I want to say something serious. Actually, this is really, really serious. Actually, so if you are going to the game, I'm not going to the game, but if you are, there will be a standing ovation and a silent clap for Harvey Wilgoose. He was murdered recently in Sheffield. He's only 15 years old, so yeah, do get involved, man. And obviously do clap. On the 15th minute it will be as well. So do get involved in that if you are going. If you obviously Luton fans I know are trying to share it around. So yeah, man, do get involved with that and everything like that. But yeah, it is that time. Score predictions, Dad. Well, you said you feel we can get something. So what is that something? Is it a win? Is it a draw?
No, it's definitely. It's not a win. I'd love to see it. I think we'll be organised. We'll show them what we have been. We just need to show that extra little bit of gear, a bit of fearlessness, and hopefully we'll do that. I'm gonna be brave on this one a little bit. I'm gonna go for a 1-1 draw.
That is brave saying he draw at the moment. I said it last game. Felt I was optimistic, like I was when I got called it when we played Nottingham Forest many years ago. And we ended up beating them, and I said 2-2 draw. Anyway, as for this game, I've got to say a defeat. I think I was a bit too confident in myself the other day that we'd get a draw away at Sunderland. I mean, we are at home, we are better at home, but we're playing a Sheffield United team who have a great opportunity to go top. Over the years, when teams have great opportunities to go top against us, they do it. Standout one I can think of, I know it's very early in the Premier League, but West Ham did it when they beat us 2-1. I think someone done it this year, but I can't remember who at the top of my head. I'm not on about Burnley because that was the first game of the season, but they did it. What's that, sorry?
Was it Sunderland?
Yeah, Sunderland, that was it. Yeah, that was it, actually. So, yeah.
Well, we was unlucky. We got done, that offside goal.
Yeah, we did, we did. And again, same against West Ham. So it could be that type of game. And that, obviously they're both 2-1, so it might even be a 2-1 based on history in that sense. But yeah, I would say a 3-1 defeat. Unfortunately, I hate to say that, but I just think it could be a close game, and then they just get 2 late goals and we just do sloppy mistakes. Yeah, again, I can just see it. But again, like I say, hopefully the history books come our way this time. They're the favourites, and we come back and we beat them in a game where they're the favourites, and we capitalise on that, and they don't rise to the pressure. But I can't see it, man. For me, it's just what Sheffield United turn up, and even then, they don't really need to turn up. To be honest, half the time, it's just have that bit more confidence. We're at home, but this game leads out of the remaining home games. They're the sort of games I'm taking as you don't really want to say it because we're in a relegation battle, but 3 hits. And the games after that, or games like as well, like Plymouth, Portsmouth, them sort of things. We need to be beaten. It's as simple as that. So they're the games that I'm saying are more serious for us right now, I'll be honest. So yeah, let's go through some comments. Ed says Walsh is an absolute snapper. Start him. I get what you're trying to do there. But yeah, no, I think you got. I think you got to give him a go. Jackie's gone 2-1 to us. Bowler and Theo to score. Obviously, we will get into our goal scorers in a minute. Paul says 2-1 as well to Luton. Okay, interesting. Theo to get both. Fair enough. A fellow, shall I say. Exactly. That is literally like me. Me and Ed, great minds think alike. We're the same, I'll be honest. We are the same on that. Yeah, but I'm just being realistic. Leeds, I can't see nothing. They are battering everybody. They battered Watford the other day. And again, I know Watford have dropped off a bit. Well, they still beat us, by the way, in the derby. But they're just like, I'm watching what Leeds do against it. I even watched them against Coventry. It was a midweek game, not last week, the week before, I think it was. And they were just, so dominant. Coventry are in good form. You know what I mean? They're chasing playoffs now. But Leeds are just showing levels. So I can't see us getting nothing against them. But that's later on anyway, so we'll talk about that nearer the time. But yeah, Dad, your goal scorer for us?
Naismith.
Oh, okay. Naismith. I'm trying to think who scored in the Premier League game against them. I can't remember. So
Doughty, I think it was, man.
Yeah, it might have been. It's going to bug me, so I'm going to have a quick look. Really quick. 1, 3. I'm just going to have a little VAR check of that. Morris penalty, it was. So, yeah, maybe. Could be something like that again. No, I'm not going to go Morris. I'm going to go Asgard. I'm feeling that Asgard banger. I don't know. I'm just feeling it. Because if anyone's going to have a shot, obviously Doughty's proven to do that now. But it's going to be him or Doughty, isn't it? So I'll go. You know what? I even put an assist. Doughty to set up Asgard. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. They're free goal. I don't know. They're free goal scorers. It could be flipping anyone. It could be a goalkeeper at this rate. You know what I mean? It's just so bad. But yeah. Anything else you want to say, Dad, before we wrap up?
Well, I give him because I don't. I think Wilder's a good manager, but I don't like him. So let's get one over on him.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a few comments. He said just generic answers. Really, might as well talk to the AI. He was like, "Yeah, it's never a tough game. It's always a tough game. Sorry, comments can it's generic."
And they're not, but they're going to say that anyway. But I know it.
Yeah, it's boring. But yeah, usually he makes sly comments like he did last season. Everyone's acting like Luton are in Europe. Mate, you were the worst team in Premier League, but they showed ambition, didn't they, in the summer? Let's be honest. Whereas we did, but not as much. They got their business done early, and they are going to go up. In my opinion, it's just whatever way are they going to go up? We shall see. But yeah. Shout out to Billy. Been a very long time since seeing you in the chat, mate. Good to see you. He says, yes, lads, stay positive. Hatters can dig themselves out of this. Got to stay positive. I reckon to draw it. I'll take, usually I say this on away games, mate, but I'll take anything. It's not a loss, even at home now. It's got to that stage. Except, Plymouth and Portsmouth, I want to win only in them games. But obviously, we have to see how we go in this game. And then we move on to Plymouth on Wednesday night. But yeah, regarding the game, there will be a vlog from home. Me and you, Dad, will be doing another one of them. So do check that out. I will do a reaction after the game. Obviously, get that out before the vlog, like always. And hopefully David's going to the game still. So there'll be a fan cam outside the ground with Mike as well. So yeah, check that out when that comes out. Get my reaction for out first, then Mike's fan cam, and then the vlog from home. So check all of that out when that drops tomorrow. And yeah, like Ed says here, we'll end it on this. We'll see. It's not quite next game, but Plymouth is absolutely crucial, which it is. And I didn't think I'd say it, but it's not a very good time to play Plymouth. They haven't even won away yet. Be interesting to see what they do. You've got to keep an eye out on that. So they've got Blackburn away, who just obviously Eustace is gone. So will that affect them? And Plymouth maybe get their first win away before playing us. We shall see. But definitely keep an eye on that. Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries at all. Bloody hell, school days, yeah, I'll tell you what, the last couple of years for me were crazy for the GCSEs and that, and it didn't even end up doing them because of COVID. So, yeah, mate, big up to yourself for tuning in. But yeah, like I say, smash a like, do subscribe, follow me across all my socials, subscribe to the Extra channel. Big up to everyone that watched the Sunderland reaction, by the way, touching 2,000 views, 5 new subscribers as well. So, yeah, man, big up to that. Big up to yourselves for that, sorry. And we'll end it on this. We'll end it on this positive note from Billy. He says, I hope you have a good weekend. You too, mate. Hopefully Luton don't ruin it yet again, but you never know nowadays. Next Hat show, we'll probably just do it on Tuesday all in one because it's another quick turnaround. We might as well. So, yeah, man, big up to everyone that tuned in. And until tomorrow, we'll see you lot in a bit. Take care. Peace.